I first want to say thank you for Adonis's family for instilling values that have made my job very easy. Also, thank you for your time and effort in this partnership. I chose Adonis for our Student of the Month because he is a bucket filler with a growth mindset. And I appreciate that very much. In our classroom, we talk about filling buckets and building people up. And he's very good about doing that. He genuinely cares about others and their well-being. That's an important characteristic in today's world, and it's nice to see. He makes others around him feel good. When he has questions or he's unsure of anything, Adonis is the first one to ask questions. He involves himself with our conversations and adds value to our classroom discussions. I am honored to have him in our class. His friends all voted for him, said that they like to play at recess with him, and that he makes them feel good. So we are honored to have him at Harvard. Thank you.
So joining me tonight is Kyra Polite, and she has been selected as our leadership nomination for Student of the Month. Miss Nicole Lake is with me as well to present to her. Also in the audience this evening is Ray Robinson. He didn't want to come up, but we're going to point him out anyhow. And also Kenzie Wilson, Kyra's little sister at Harvard. So I'm looking forward to having her next year. She's in second grade. So Kyra is currently a student in Mrs. Lake and also Miss Butler's fourth grade classroom. And she is a classroom and school leader. She's always the first one to make sure she's following school rules and being a leader for her classmates around her. She demonstrates safe, responsible, and respectful behavior each and every day. Kyra strives to excel in the classroom while also being a friendly face to her peers. She's currently leading by example and working at an advanced level in an independent reading group with 6 of her classmates, which Mrs. Lake came to me and asked me about. And when I walk by every day, you're doing the right thing even when there's not an adult nearby. So that's independent learning, and I appreciate that as well. You're willing to work with any student in the classroom when asked and willing to assist them in any manner needed. Kyra is also taking the time to be trained as a peer restorative leader, and that will be, she'll be able to assist students with using restorative practices to solve disputes. We're so lucky to have Kyra in our classroom and in our school, as you're truly a well-rounded student who fully encompasses the ideal of being a leader within and outside the classroom. You are kind-hearted, and you bring a positive vibe to our classroom and school, and we absolutely love having you. Congratulations.
It is with great pleasure and pride that I get to introduce to you the district, a special student that we have had the pleasure of growing with at AIM Academy. Her name is Alexa Pineda, and she holds a special place in our hearts, not just because of her academic prowess, but also because of her tender heart, her strength of character, and her willingness to help in every area of AIM. She's a leader in the classroom, a helper in the younger hallways, and a distinguished member of the band and choir. She has even received an exclusive scholarship for flute lessons, and she has soared as our first year flautist. I could go on, but I'd like to share some of the words others have had the joy of teaching and working with her. So I'm going to call up Mrs. Flyshaker. She has her words right here to share with us.
Alexa really is an impressive young lady. Words that I would use to describe her are musical, inquisitive, mature, and determined. I've come to know Alexa through music. She sings in the AIM choir and plays flute in the AIM band. I could tell within the first few days of working with her that she possessed an innate musical ability. She has a lovely voice and a good ear. However, it's her inquisitive nature and self-determination combined with that musical ability that make her an incredible musician. While in the band, she asks intelligent questions about music notation and flute technique. She then uses the information as she practices at home, showing great determination to become a better player. As a matter of fact, she'll leave here tonight to head to her flute lesson. Alexa's maturity shows every day when she comes prepared to learn and take on new challenges. She has a very bright future. Canton City Schools is fortunate to have a student like Alexa Pineda.
Good evening, everyone. I'm just going to tell a quick story here. So the Canton City School District got very lucky in September of 2017 because that is when Mackenzie Horn transferred here from California to our district. And the Compton Learning Center got even luckier in August of 2018 when she became a student at our Digital Academy. So since having joined us, Mackenzie has accrued 21 College Credit Plus credits. She's currently working on another 12 this semester, and she will take more in the spring. So she could end up with close to 45 credits total by the time she is finished. Obviously, she is hardworking, she's dedicated, she is helpful in everything we've asked her to do. She's friendly with our staff and all the other students. She's very busy outside of school as well. She's participated on McKinley's swim team. She's a certified lifeguard and currently working at Goldfish Swim School in North Canton. And she also helps her father, who owns his own business, in his marketing. So she's a very busy lady. We are super thankful that she's chosen our school. We would like to thank her mom, Robin, her brother, Aiden, and her boyfriend, CJ, for being here tonight to support her and to support us on a daily basis. And Mr. Downing is also here as well to support Mackenzie, as well as Mr. Spencer and Ms. Pedroti. And thank you all for coming.
Mrs. Sybole and I unknowingly nominated Robert for District Employee of the Month due to some of these very fabulous reasons. Robert Winebrenner was a former active Marine who served our country in Iraq. He uses his military background to create a classroom culture surrounded by high expectations. Students in his classroom love to learn in a small group environment where their individual needs are being met. Utilizing a hands-on approach, Mr. Winebrenner is always coming up with experiments in science class to allow students to see how the instruction being taught applies to real-life situations. In his 5th year of teaching, 4 with the Canton City School District, Robert has served on the school's building leadership team for 3 years and is currently the head of the PBIS committee. Using as many resources as possible, Robert was able to get businesses to donate to our school to allow the kids to have pool incentives to buy. With the new implementation of Parent of the Month, Mr. Winebrenner recognizes the importance of parent and community involvement and strives to make Yutz a better place where staff and parents work together to create a family-like culture that is in support of the whole child. These are just many of the reasons I'd like to recognize Robert Winebrenner for Employee of the Month.
Hi, I'm Katie Schmidt, and Jacqui is our classroom assistant in our pre-K classroom. She's beyond amazing. I frequently refer to her as magic. She makes her classroom a first priority and is always thinking about our kids. She brings in snacks, she comes up with great projects for our students, and just goes the extra mile. A couple weeks ago, I came down with mono. It was a blast. And while I was out, I wasn't even worried because I knew she would take the lead. And she did, and did it perfectly. She's a perfect teammate, and I can't imagine our room without her. Jacqui is always ahead of the game. Anytime I ask her to do anything, it's already been done. I can't tell you how many times I'm like, hey Jack, can you do this? And she looks at me, she's like, I did that 3 days ago. And I'm like, of course you did. She creates projects and activities and is always looking for things to make our classroom more inviting for the kids. I can't tell you how many times I've said, I wonder if we could get these. And she immediately responds, I have those at home, I'll bring them in tomorrow. She's so incredibly reliable and wonderful. She and I run our room like a team, and I don't know what I'd do without her. Jacqui Sybole most definitely deserves this honor. She is dedicated and always goes above and beyond. She makes wonderful relationships with our students and their families. She attends our sporting events and birthday parties and is always posting on Class Dojo so our families have a better view into our classroom. Jacqui Sybole is the most deserving person I can think of for this honor. She is beyond dedicated to our kids and families and has a heart of gold. Thank you.